Today, it's a cozy, intimate ChillPoint here in Studio A. This is ChillPoint.
It's Studio A.
Studio 8.
It does not.
Why, hello everybody. We're here in Studio A. We're all doing similar crossing legs, which you can't see.
Yep, I can't get my feet up that high to try to show them.
But they're beginning the great desert bus in setup and
Inquisition.
Hollowing out.
So we are here in Studio A for ChillPoint today, but we wanted to still talk about some video game news in the episode of Checkpoint that went up last week. Just to get it out of the way, obviously, there will not be a Checkpoint
For 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks.
At least.
Yeah.
Because this coming week, setup, next
Yep.
week, Desert Bus. The week after that, supposed to be back, but also they could just be tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, there won't actually be any video game news during those 2 weeks anyway.
Well, we are in November.
So that's just convenient.
So,
Yeah.
and December also doesn't really have anything because it's just the Game Awards at
Yeah.
that point. And then December becomes that void of nobody's watching what you're playing because all the wrap-ups generally end at the end of November.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully let me know if the sound is okay in terms of the mic and stuff. We're just using the single mic for the three of us, so hopefully that'll be okay. But anyway, let's get into this week's episode of Checkpoint. Starting off with Cameron's story about EA being very clear that they will, despite them being bought out by this consortium, including the Saudi Arabia Sovereign Investment or Sovereign Wealth Fund, there will not be any changes to their. Wait, I want to get the exact, because
The exact phrasing.
because it's like a full.
Yeah.
It's a big fact that they posted.
Because like the shorthand is that they're supposed to retain all creative
They're
control.
like, we will retain all creative control
Going on future projects or something like that.
on, yeah, or at least maybe it's more that they're the amount of creativeness and the amount of creativeness that EA has won't change, I guess.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So there's this whole sort of fact. So they posted this. They posted this as like an employee fact, but then they also sent it to like the SEC. I guess as part of the discovery process
right,
for the merger.
Okay.
So it's, why there's all this stuff like, why is the consortium interested in acquiring EA? It's like, well, the consortium shares our vision, and its decision to make this historic investment reflects conviction in our strategy.
I hate corporate speak. It's always so
It doesn't say
Yeah.
anything.
bougie.
I do love the, does this mean EA is in financial trouble? EA is in a strong financial position!
But this partnership gives us the ability to move faster and unlock new opportunities on a global stage.
It is
Okay,
a lot of saying
all right.
nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sonic does move faster when he collects more rings, right?
It's true.
So money does make things go faster.
Yeah. I
think those were lies I just said.
There's something about, will our culture change as a result of this deal?
Yes.
Well, it says, our mission, values, and commitment to players and fans around the world remains unchanged.
Yeah, I mean,
which
given
could be
their-
interpreted a couple of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any different. Yeah.
Because the shit
Our-
we wrote down on paper is not going to change. The way that we act.
It's like our lack, our also, but it's like our lack of commitment to players and fans around the world. It won't get any better either.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that is the fear, though. The fear is that it'll get worse, right?
Yeah.
Not that, because like there was this whole thing when Microsoft was taking over, thing that people were like, oh well, maybe they'll make it better.
Yeah.
There was like that weird hope, and
There was a bit of hope.
yeah, and in this case, there's no hope of that. The hope is there's just no hope. It's just despair and like, oh, it'll get worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
which it is pretty funny to see. You know, this is one of those weird situations where where people are like, oh no, not EA, and then when it's like, you know, for the last decade, EA has been the boogeyman
I'm
of
not
like
just-
buying
know.
up other companies and crushing them, and now it's like, but EA, oh no, it's gonna lose. We're gonna lose the
Yeah.
Cool
It's-
thing.
But it is a thing of like, right, when you're saying, oh, don't worry, the status quo will remain the same. If we were to say that, we would hopefully have enough trust within our community. If a character like Monokuma says that, you're just like, oh, well, that's terrifying. Great.
The exercise of like, so when you sit down to write a mission statement, like, because that's a very corporate thing to do, is to say, okay, well, let's clarify. Company's been around for X number of years. Why did you start this company? Well, because I needed a job, right? Like, I mean, with that, it's like I needed a job, and I wanted to do this as my job. So then I started doing it as my job, and I started selling video games to people, and then I started like hiring my friends to come work and sell them and make video games with me. So we started making video games, and then I gave my friends like cushy jobs, and then we hired a bunch more people to make video games, right? And it's like there's kind of a thing of like nobody who starts a business sits down with a corporate ethos to say, let's make a decision about how this is all supposed to operate.
Right.
And at a certain point, I mean, we're over 20 years into Loading Ready Run. There still isn't a corporate mission that's been written down on a sheet somewhere. But they do that kind of thing because they're like, wow, once you're at a certain number of people, you want to clarify, you know, what's our goal? Like, why should we come into work every day? And the fact that EA has one where I'm like, they clearly spent $5 million on this one because their mission is inspire the world to play. And I'm like,
And
that's not good enough.
And as a note, that, you know, we've got the mug that says act with integrity. That's like one of the points of their mission statement. Like that's why they have that on a mug.
Oh, that's how mission statement works? We need to, it's like, this is why
mugs?
we need mugs. We need mugs with our mission statement on.
Yeah.
Well, ChillPoint has a mission statement. It's, you know, it's on the other side of its mug. It's just telling the joke that is the video game industry.
Yeah, but we need a lure mug that's just like, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Like Yuri, but better.
Yeah. So anyway, there's also the will private ownership lead to layoffs, and then which the answer being there will be no immediate changes to your job, team, or daily work as a result of this transaction. Our focus is on driving innovation and expanding our global reach, all of which will require world-class teams who are excited to shape the future of entertainment.
Right.
So they didn't actually say no.
No, but the keywords there are as a result of this transaction.
And there
which
will be no
means,
immediate changes.
Like, yeah, and so later when we get rid of everyone or
When we decide to adopt a new set of values that you don't agree with.
take out all the fun gay parts of The Sims, that will have not been of this reason. There'll be a different one.
Do you think if circumstances happen such that this sale actually does go through, and that the consortium that this actually causes a change, that there is actually a change in the corporate culture of EA? Like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just like a strictly money thing that the Saudi Arabian investment, because they've invested in a lot of things, and like they don't necessarily like they want money, like they want it to be profitable more than
strong arming people
more than they want to be strong arming things. I think.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's they might not mess with it too much.
Yeah.
Who knows? But if there is a big change in their corporate thing, do you think they will actually go back and like change their like, you know, act with integrity gets like crossed out
Oh, I think they took that out a long time ago.
of their corporate mission statement?
The nice
Like,
thing is
do you
that,
have to update your corporate mission statement if you're
well, the thing about that too is that it's like you can always re-triangulate what acting with integrity means. That it's like,
That's true.
you know, the kind of integrity you have to obey has nothing to do with that. It's like, oh, well, I believe in this specific set of moral values, and therefore that's the integrity I'm going to go with. It's like, no, you can be a craven asshole and be like, that's the kind of integrity I'm looking at pushing forward. It's like the level of how, because even the most evil person on the planet still thinks that they're acting with integrity. They are still getting up every day and working for their own happiness, right? Like that, ultimately everybody's the star of their own show, so they're always going to think that it's like, I am the good guy and I'm doing the right thing and the good thing and the best thing by doing the thing that I'm doing today. Time to go kill thousands of babies. And it's
so
like,
what you're saying is act with integrity is an empty
yes.
thing, even
it's always been empty.
but
Even the
like
idea.
even in the context of like very blasé like performative mission statement.
Yeah.
Act with integrity, even within that context,
Has no integrity.
It has no meaning.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that mission statement is not something you write once and then are never allowed to change. They probably have updated it to not include that anymore. In the same vein that I'm pretty sure Google doesn't have do no evil in their stuff anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
That's true. Yeah.
you know, stuff gets changed out. People remember certain headlines when that stuff happens, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, we would like a group to act with integrity or do whatever. That sounds very cool and very good when we're all feeling good about it, not how everything else is right now.
Yeah.
Also, I do like, and I know that this is a boilerplate thing now, that you just they put in all these things, especially for you know, the Security and Exchange Commission corporate filings and stuff. It is still the chunk at the bottom that they always have to put in these missives, in these things. I always find very funny. The cautionary statement regarding forward-looking statements. You know, some statements set forth in this communication contain forward-looking statements that are subject to change. Statements including the words anticipate, believe, expect, intend, estimate, plan, predict, seek, goal, will, may, likely, should, could, future, and similar expressions predict or indicate future events or trends that are not statements of historical matters and may identify assumptions, whether or not identified in this communication, that do not guarantee future performance. So basically, you know, this is boilerplate stuff. This is not particular to this particular document.
Yeah.
You see this on a lot of things, but it's especially funny on these, like, there's document things that are like, you know, message from the founder of the company being like, this is going to, you know, we are going to go ahead and do this because this is what our company believes in.
Yeah.
And the thing at the bottom being like, none of the things in this document can actually be taken as real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when I look at this,
This could be entirely wrong.
Yeah.
when I look at this statement where it says things like anticipate, believe, expect, intend, estimate, goals, like it really does feel like it's
Will,
hey,
may.
hey, reminder, folks, when someone says, hey, we have this as a goal, or hey, we're trying to do this thing right now, and you go and you shorten the sentence to, hey, we're going to do this thing right now,
Yeah.
or we're going to do thing. That's not what was said. That's not what those words mean.
I love the way the list of words that you have to take into account gets less and less specific. Like, it's, you know, anticipate, believe, expect, intend, estimate, plan, predict, seek, goal, but then it goes like will, may, likely, should, could.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like, we will do this.
Okay,
It's
will-
not actually
We could
Yeah.
do this.
no, but saying in the statement, we will do this, is not technically a statement that you will do that thing.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, yeah.
security's purposes.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's probably like, that one probably shouldn't really be in there.
Yeah,
I just,
this will
there's
happen.
so many times where I see people who are like, and I'm just talking like everyday people who are like, oh, I made a goal. I didn't work out. So I guess I didn't do what I promised to do. And I'm like, Yeah, but that's like goals work that way. Like
Yeah.
goals are like meant to be a thing you're trying to get towards, not necessarily a thing you always accomplish. That's a to-do list that you're talking about. That's a little bit different.
Anyway, so I do like that, like that this the story that Cameron wrote, Kathleen delivered, of course, with the wonderful bullshit statement there that Kathleen did really, really well.
Yeah, and Kathleen had to reread that story because she
Right, yeah.
in the middle, right after she did the bullshit line, she kind of did whatever. So I put the first read as the after show before the YouTube members because
Nice.
it's they're very similar, but I really liked the read that she did for that, and I was like, no, you should watch that one too.
But yeah, it's I do like that this entire story can be basically it's just a very sort of long walk way to say that they put this in their statement and clearly they're lying.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
clearly, even if they're not like lying, that it's like clearly that's also like not something. It's not something that they can promise.
Yeah. They're trying to
And-
mollify a bunch of people, being like, "Look, we said these things." It's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter that you said them.
It's also exactly what little companies that get bought by EA say.
Yeah.
They're like, we're like a 3-person studio. We're getting bought by this giant company, but we're not going to change. And we, they really believe in us.
Yeah.
And they believe in the product, and it's going to be great.
Well, because that's the ideal,
and
right?
then 6 months down
The
the line.
ideal is
Yeah, they
that
fire everybody
that
and-
this group came along is going to take care of all your financial problems that you're not going to have to worry about now, so you can focus on the thing that you've always
Yeah.
going to focus on, except you signed a sheet of paper
That's the dream. Yeah.
that they can be like, yeah, that might be the dream, but that ain't the reality. If they want. It's not like no company has ever. There are companies that have taken over other things and not really like interfered
It's true.
a ton. We don't do stories on those because that's not interesting.
I was gonna say EA is not one of those
No,
companies.
no, they're not. I don't, and yeah. Mhm.
It's hard too, right? Because like any company of a specific, I mean, this is the thing about a company of EA's breadth, like the amount of stuff that they do, to turn around and say, oh, we're going to get bought by a private equity consortium, including the Saudi sovereign wealth fund or excluding that, however you want to like look at that. The idea of like you're being bought by this private equity concern, even if it's a group of private equity companies, it's like we have seen what private equity is notorious for, and I don't know
Well,
if
we know this is at least a $10 billion leveraged buyout.
yeah. So there's this thing of
Oh,
like
right.
like
I forgot about that part.
yeah. Like, it's not just straight up being like, we're going to give you this. It's like, no, what we're going to do is make you acquire a whole bunch of debt for your own sale. And that's how we're going to, but you'll get some money out of this. And like, we know what they're notorious for. And even just excluding the bad behavior or the anything else that's tied to other interested parties, it's like the core of this deal just sounds like it's dismantling. Like that, it's just like we're coming in here to buy up this company. Why? Because we are going to basically squeeze everything we can out of it. We're gonna siphon off all the things that are making money, and we're gonna either keep that for ourselves or we're going to sell it off to more interested parties so we can make more money on the back of that. And I'm like, whoever is sitting in EA right now that's like in charge of like if it's privately owned or if it's majority owned by stakeholders of some sort. Like,
I mean, it's a public company.
it's a public company,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, however you look at that, it's like there's somebody at the head of that who's saying, I stand to make a goddamn fortune and I am going to die in 15 years. So I do not give a shit about this company one way or the other, or the people who work in it or anything else. All I want is my is my check so I can get the fuck out of this and I can go buy a mega yacht.
Yeah.
It's just essentially how this stuff ends up turning into something. And it's so, it's just the you want to talk bullshit, it is the loose churn of bullshit of just like we're just going to keep doing this over and over and killing off companies and killing off whatever else and like killing off IPs, or IPs are going to go to random places around the world and people are just going to have to be like, well, what are we going to do? It's like start your own studio, take on the financial burden, try to make a success, and then I guess try to convince the rest of us to buy your games from your smaller companies and stop thinking about I need to buy the latest Call of Duty or the latest the latest Battlefield or fuck the latest Mario game, like that kind of thing, right? The latest Sonic the Hedgehog game. It's like maybe we don't have to be buying those things all the time.
The yeah, the anyway, we'll see what comes out of this. You know, it's still potentially you know, more than a year away actually happening. But also I know, like, the people that I've seen who are shall we say, like, you know, in the more sort of optimistic side, are like, hey, if EA is going to get, you know, bought up and, you know, squeezed and messed up and stuff, maybe the parts that we like will get sold off and other people can use them, and that will be good.
As a derailment, do you think that in our current time frame that the mega yacht is essentially the modern pyramid?
Maybe.
In that we should be burying our leaders in there?
Well, I mean, it's a really big thing that is full of a lot of their wealth.
It doesn't
filled
do
with their
anything on
favorite
its own.
servants. It doesn't do anything on its own, and I'm pretty sure that's where they lose all their organs.
Yeah, Josh Johnson has a great bit on yacht, like mega yacht thing. He was just talking about. It's like, it's not even that. You see these mega yachts. It's like a small apartment.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even that nice.
Yeah, they go in and they're like, look at this this thing's got handles. It's like, my apartment has door handles, man. Like, it's like, look, I got this kitchen. It's like, my kitchen's bigger than your kitchen, and it paid for it to be on a boat. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to talking about this new Nintendo app that just got released.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Store app,
Which a lot of people don't know about.
which I messed up. So Nintendo has about 5 or 6 iOS apps right now.
There's 5 apps that are all very red that are Nintendo based.
And including, so there's and before that, so yeah, what are they all?
We have Nintendo Music, which
Right.
is only good if you have Nintendo Online, because otherwise, because it's free for that.
And like, to me, that makes sense. Like, having music as
off
an
to the
app
side.
makes sense.
Sure.
We have Nintendo Today, which is their news drop app, which has a calendar and some stuff, and that one I think weirds people out, which fair. There's the Nintendo Switch app,
Right.
which is the one that came out first, I think, because that's the one that you plugged your headphones into to try to do chat with people and stuff. And
doesn't
you
that
can kinda
also
see
have
their own-
news in it?
No, it has some stat stuff, but it's a little bit different.
It's kind of
It's kind of a weird interface.
It's very base, the level of stats and stuff. But what it's for is it's like the Nook phone app that you would use. You can use that on there to like see what your catalogs are.
Yeah,
and
it
what
has
costs
some
you-
game-based stuff.
Yeah.
So like you can do
There's
I
Splatoon
see.
this.
stuff.
They now do a thing where you can get your screenshots from the Switch 2 through it.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a fairly handy app. You can see who your friends are online.
It's all
but
connected to your Nintendo
It's not.
account.
It's not a store.
Yeah.
And then they have the Switch parental app,
Right, which is all the parental
which
controls.
is your parental controls, which a lot of people, me included, were using as a way to kind of track gameplay time.
Right.
Because it had more granular gameplay time stuff.
And I guess the idea with that being an app as opposed to just being on the Switch itself is that it allows the parents to monitor and change that without
and
being
I
on
think
the
you
Switch.
can add like a bedtime lock kind of thing with
Right.
it.
That makes sense.
A lot of people I know downloaded it as a way to be like, oh, how many days did I play? And it had like a good thing. Now we have the Nintendo Store app, which has basically all the store stuff. And if you go to your profile, it also has a way for you to actually like look at a bunch of gameplay data.
Right, and it's like, why are those stats in the store.
Yeah, I'm not
app.
sure why those are in the store app and not part of like maybe the Nintendo Switch app.
Yeah.
Especially since the Nintendo Switch app has some stats, but they're way less granular.
Yeah.
Whereas the new one has like the super day by day,
Yeah.
minute by minute
and,
stats.
And if you had your eShop account from like the 3DS merged into your new one, it has all of the stuff
which
from
is
that,
which is impressive.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where like I remember Netflix did put a thing out a while ago, like this was a couple years ago. They put out a thing that was like, everybody is watching like this particular scene in this movie.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? And the reaction to that was a lot of people being like, wait, what? You're like tracking that
Level.
that granularity of detail.
Yeah.
It's like we kind of knew that you were tracking stuff, but we didn't know how much and this is sort of that same, it's like theoretically, yeah, of course Nintendo would have data on your gameplay, but the fact that they have it all the way back to like the 3DS, you're like, oh yeah, I guess they would have that.
Yeah,
but that is still slightly surprising.
And to be honest, like, because they started doing the wrap up thing at the end of the year when a lot of people were doing it. They used to put out an end of year survey, which I would like every single time I would write in the other comments thing about how like, I know you have the data, let me look at it. You let me do it on the 3DS and the Wii U.
Ooh.
I know you have it. Just let me look at it.
So what you're saying is you're responsible for them
Oh
putting
yeah,
it in this
me
app.
and probably like the other 10 people on the planet who tried that hard.
The store app's interesting because it's like it is literally, it's like, here's a bunch of stuff that you could buy on the Nintendo store game wise, right? You want to
Right.
buy this game because currently I don't like the experience of going to nintendo.com and then going to like the store area and then having to provide my login unless I'm already logged in and my cookies are still good. So it's like, okay, so then you're fine, and like go find your game and do it. It feels a little bit like it feels like it takes a while to kind of walk you through the steps you need to do to get to a point where you can just be like, I want to buy this on digital download and I'll put it on my Switch. And what they're trying to do is like streamline that with this app, except that in order to avoid any sort of in-app purchase kind of cut that Apple would have
right.
to, or Google could take.
Yeah.
I have no idea if this is an Android app either. They're just basically like, you find the game in that and you go, complete sale on website or whatever, like you can click the button. So you click the button,
And
it
then
takes
it
you
takes
right
you
to it, and then you can buy it.
Yeah. It also lets you do like stuff like redeem your game codes through it and other things that are just, it's kind of, I stopped buying when I don't have to buy a game through a console interface. I won't. I'll actually go to their website through the store portal that way, and I'll do that. Well, because most of the time you can tell it, hey, now that I've purchased this game, please just go download it to my thing.
Right.
And maybe I'm not even like nearby, maybe it's off, but when I turn it on, it's going to download it then. And, that's
it's convenient.
it's convenient.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got this.
It still needs to be a better information thing, though, because like the 3DS let you have cool graphs and stuff and things where you could be like, tell me between these dates and these dates and other stuff. So this is an improvement, but don't think for a second I'm not going to complain about it still, Nintendo.
How about being able to like export that data as like a CSV,
Ooh, that'd be fun too.
so then you can do whatever you want with your own data.
Print out pretty graphs and paste them into your journals.
Yeah. You can put it into a spreadsheet and do all sorts of fun stuff.
So you brought some journals.
I brought examples because what Beach wrote there was not an example.
I had to ask
He
because
was just like, so you have like a gaming bujo, right? And like I have like 5.
We were concealing your identity.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not supposed to tell anybody who he was talking about.
So yeah, like I've got this one, which has an attempt at tabs.
This is your gaming specific.
This
I
is
see.
my
It's
gaming-
literally
yeah,
called
it's
Gaming
specific.
Bujo.
So I've got like
Shoot you those nice tabs.
just like things of like by system of what I own and whether I bought it digitally or whether I have it physically and when I started it and
You actually have
so
finished story and
start date, finished story / got to credits or whether I've completed 100%.
oh,
And
it's
then,
like your own personal how long to beat.
yeah, and then I've got like actual like things that are based on trophies for certain games that I was trying to do things for. I have a whole section for Animal Crossing Pocket when I was interested in that. My song scores for one of the Hatsune Miku games.
Has a lot of check marks. Oh my god.
Ooh.
You know, that kind of thing. And then because I didn't have enough space for Hyrule Warriors, the first one,
Does Hyrule Warriors get its own journal?
it got its full own journal.
Oh, you got to show them the graphs.
And I made I made
textures.
copies of the graphs and stuff that they show in the
What?
game.
That's so cool.
And like character levels and like I color stuff in when I get them and stuff.
Do you
So,
like? Is this mostly as a like as a historical record, or do you actually refer to this while you're playing a lot?
sometimes I refer to this if I'm trying to do something more specific.
I feel like you can just like
yeah,
write
I
one.
didn't-
What you can like just like write one of those guides after you.
I didn't bring my
finish.
I didn't bring my blueprints one because I didn't want to.
Giveaway spoilers.
Well,
Yeah.
Is that like its own book
oh,
as
that's
well?
its own book as well. I made separate pages for the rooms.
Oh wow.
I only go that deep on games that I'm like really into. Like I don't go that huge on other stuff.
See, the difference is when I can tell that I've gotten like super into a that kind of a puzzle game because I'll just have like in front of my computer, I'll have like half a dozen little weird bits of scrap paper with things written on them that I
tried. I
don't
started that way.
understand. Having a journal is a way better idea for that.
Heather's
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors journal is great because it has like if you've played Hyrule Warriors, you know that, or probably any Muso game maybe has this. I don't know. If you do certain things on certain parts of the map in Hyrule Warriors, like if you fight on one of the maps and you get to the end in a certain amount of time, you can unlock like the prize at the end of the level when you do it properly. But if you do it fast enough or you do the things you're supposed to do, you can get the A rank prize instead. And the A rank prize can be like another heart container. It can be like some sort of other enhancement for one of the other characters. And so what's funny about that is that in hers, she has all the blanks, and she has been drawing in the hearts and the swords and the gifts and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking at that and being like, oh, you need stamps for all those.
I do. I've been looking at stamps.
Yeah.
Recently, looking at stamps has been my new improvement. This year's improvement, because this is my daily buja for this year. And what I put video game wise in this is at the beginning of the year, I make a list of games from my backlog that I'm like, here's your short list of like, when you hit that point where like, I don't know what to play, look at these first, see if you want to play any of these in an attempt to get them. I have like a list that's like, here's the games you bought this year versus the games you finished this year to see if I can curb just buying stuff and then not playing it, which I did much better on this year.
That's good.
And then this year, I got a little sticker printer, and
Oh,
so
those little stickers, yeah.
I do printouts of the cover art usually, and then when I start a game, I do little notes about like, oh, this is how my first play session of that's going, and if I really like a game, maybe I have extra notes later that I fill in as I go, and I write things like when I started or finished it here, but also like what I streamed it on and like that kind of thing.
Wow.
And I really like the sticker thing. I've been doing it for books as well, which has been really good. Yeah, so stamps I've been looking
Yeah.
at as an improvement for next year.
It's great because, from my background as like a web designer, I'm like that's just basically like turning it. You've turned it into like the meta filter or Metacritic page with like the little the game box with like the rating and the description and
Yeah.
the next one rating description. It's brilliant. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's just really fun as like a way to reflect on stuff that I've read and watched and stuff as well. Because then it's just like, oh yeah. Now when I flip through it, I have pictures and things that I'm like, oh, it's this one over here, or yeah.
Yeah. You've,
So,
you've
yeah.
been really good at like finding like the practice of journaling is one of those things that is I can't do it. because I hate writing things down. Like I hate putting.
That's like one of the really big things
Yeah.
with journaling.
Yeah, but like I love that it's like that you're so into that and so focused on that, is because what I want to do is I want it to be like get everything into my PDA, get everything into my phone, use that as my trusted system, start doing that, and that's fallen off multiple times. But at least I've started to rely upon, like, I know I have an appointment, make sure that I have a calendar appointment, I have a warning the day before, and I have a warning an hour before, like that kind of thing. And it's like I could never rely upon.
I mean,
looking at a
these are
paper
my
planner.
these are my hard copies.
Yeah.
I also have a spreadsheet version of the first one. I don't really do the photo thing in spreadsheet form, but I have all of that in a spreadsheet so that when I'm doing other planning, I can look at things more alphabetically, because I can't rearrange words that are written down in that way. So it lacks something in that respect, but I don't need it for that part. I need it for a different thing. So I also do keep a spreadsheet up to date.
And if anybody's wondering why Heather's the one who manages our all our YouTube stuff, and that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason there. It requires a lot of organization that historically Graham and I were always really bad at.
Yeah. I'm essentially just doing for me, a more fun version of scrapbooking as far as I'm concerned.
We got for the moon base, we bought you liner tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for your calendars, so that you can actually put like pinstriping.
Yeah,
on your,
for those
on your
who've
whiteboards.
probably
be
never
erased
seen it,
off.
but you might have seen it in the background of a couple live bits here and there. My office calendar is a whiteboard with movable magnets that I can also wipe stuff off of if I want to. Beach got me some little liner tape so I could make a grid on the whiteboard for the calendar and move things around.
We got a bunch of like 1/8 square numbers
Yeah.
in 2 different colors. They flip back and forth from black to red. So now that can be like everything laid out on the
Like
calendar.
I am ultimately trying to do some stuff where it's like you're not constantly like redrawing stuff and rewriting stuff out, because that can feel tedious, especially if you don't have the time for it.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, especially for the calendar, the reason that calendar is so big and in that room is because it's like, if it's digital, and I do have a digital calendar for certain things that I have to check as I go along, but I don't look at a digital calendar. It's not a good enough reminder. I need like the big calendar in my face all the time.
And there is something, they always like show, like, for like Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
They'll show that they still have like a big wall of cards for where all the things go. Like there's something about having it sort of in a physical space
Yeah.
that really helps in terms of organizing, especially like spatially, when things have to happen and that kind of stuff.
I think I'm pretty sure it's been a few years since I've seen a like a professional costuming department, but even then, and I assume still now, they still used Polaroid photos to take pictures of what costumes are supposed to look like, so you can keep it with the costume.
Right.
And it's one of those methods where it's like, yeah, we have digital photos now, but you still kind of need to print it off immediately and keep it with things, and the convenience of that still outranks the digital component.
Yeah, I wanted to go one further, and I wanted to like start printing off colored magnets, like, because it's all paper, right? So it's like printing off on sticker paper all the logos of all the shows that we do, and give like Heather, like, here's 5 magnets that just all have the ChillPoint logo and then have a blank space next to them for the number of the episode, and just being like, here, you've got this. The logo's on there now, and we've pasted over it with tape or something so you can't like accidentally mar it. So you have a beautiful looking ChillPoint, for example, or a Tap Concede magnet that has room for you to write in the episode number, and you can basically just move them around on the board, and then that way when you look at the board you can immediately see all of the logos of all the things that are going on and all
right
that
now
kind
it's
of
all
stuff.
just color coded. I've got different colors for different channels.
I mean, the danger of that kind of stuff, like if you go too deep down that thing, is that, new show comes out and it doesn't get added to the schedule until you can find
Yeah, you
until
get
you
a
get
logo.
time to do the logo and stuff, and it's like, okay, now we're now we put the cart before the horse here. But
I would argue that if we're going to be releasing a new show, we should probably have a logo for it first, but...
anyway.
Nintendo Store app.
So yeah, the Nintendo Store app, look, it's got lots of cool stuff in it. I want to again shout out to Heather for at one point Beej talks about, or the story talks about some of the stuff that's going on, or some of the features of it, and I put up a screenshot that I assumed was the store app, but in fact it was the Nintendo. It was the Switch
app.
the Switch app,
Yeah.
which looks very similar, but is different and stuff. And so
Yeah. It's-
Heather caught that
yeah.
and swapped out the shoulder graphic.
It's one of those things where if I didn't know that, I would have been like, yeah, it's probably it. And,
Yeah.
but when I saw it, I was like, oh, that layout's wrong. I'm gonna fix that.
But anyway, that was a lot of fun. Let's move on to the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Collection spelled with a K, of course.
Yeah, so I wasn't aware that arcade cabinets for those had AI that countered you on purpose.
Yeah,
I knew some of the things that CoinOps did that were a little predatory, but that was not one of them.
So, and this is an interesting thing. There's the two parts of the story. Is like, one, there were a bunch of issues with this collection separate from the arcade thing.
Yeah.
That they had some bad input legacy or latency stuff, which obviously when you're talking a fighting game, that's a huge problem. If the input latency is not where it's supposed to be, there was some networking issues and stuff. Only some of the games can be played online. This kind of stuff. But there was this other piece, which was that because this is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, they have a bunch of versions of all the games. Because Mortal Kombat, it's one of these games that had the tournament one and the remaster and the thing and the different ones, and so they have and the ones that they included for Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 are the arcade versions, and they explicitly wanted to make them the authentic arcade versions, which have never been released for home use, at least not unless you're stealing through emulators or something. And so they were like, we want to make sure that these are super authentic. The problem is, for when Mortal Kombat was released on console, it had a different AI than when it was in arcades, because in arcades it was basically stealing your quarters, designed to steal your quarters, and for the console it wasn't. And so, and this was a pretty common practice, and I'm pretty sure the console version also did the read. So what we're talking about here is called reading inputs, where it's basically, rather than reacting to what you do as a human would, the system is actually, when you put punch in, that you putting the punch in is what informs the AI subroutine that a punch has happened, as opposed to seeing the punch actually move.
Yeah.
Which means, and the I did it in the shoulder graphic linked to or sort of showed the thumbnail and the title and stuff of a video that was quite popular video recently that did a deep dive on this, and you can go frame by frame, and you can see the computer player reacting to what you as the human player are doing before your model has actually moved. So faster than it should ever be.
Right.
And then also situations where there's a simultaneous two people attacking simultaneously, and the computer always wins.
Right.
And now that wasn't very uncommon, or that was pretty common in this day and age, in this era, partially because the system to the sophistication of AIs just was not good enough to match a high level player.
Yeah, it wasn't going to build a strategy.
Like they couldn't. Yeah, it just they couldn't. The computer power was not sophisticated enough to actually play the character well enough without cheating.
Right.
And so that's not that uncommon. The thing that to me takes it into the stealing your quarters part is where it would ramp up the difficulty. So it would give you one easy fight.
Right. It makes you feel like you can
And then
win.
the second fight would be harder, and then the third fight would be even like.
Right.
And then when you die, it resets the timer, so you get another good
Right.
good fight, and then it gets harder. And changing the difficulty on like the operator of the arcade could change the difficulty level,
Yeah.
which basically all that did was change it so that it ramped up slower. So you could have it so you get
I
a few
see.
a few
Okay.
more easier fights before it becomes impossible.
Right.
When you say impossible without and there's lots of videos of people online beating the AI, but the way you beat the AI in these kind of games is by actually like exploiting weaknesses in the AI.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's stuff you have to know.
So it's like
and you
if-
have to know what it's doing.
It's
in order
like
to
if I do
it.
a jump this way, that it does this in response, and you can react to that.
Right. Yeah. Like I have read a lot about coin ops and like how when they started, there were games that people could get so good at that they could be there for hours upon
You would just
hours
play
on
on
that
one
one
quarter,
coin, right?
yeah.
And then
Pac-Man.
the reaction to that was to build in harder things
But-
and such because they knew that they could make more money if they could get more turnover.
And from I guess from a slightly less whatever negative point of view, also you want lots of people to be able to play the game. You don't
Well,
want
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
camping this thing
It's-
for half an hour.
It's a fine line of right. Or it's like maybe you don't want the game to be so easy that people can just be playing it all day, even for like the perspective of like maybe that game's not hard enough,
Right.
but you also don't want it to be so hard that you put in a quarter and then it's like immediate death because then no one's gonna play, right? So
Yeah, there's
So-
there's also that thing of like inviting, like if you have somebody who's good at Marvel versus Capcom, right?
Right.
And so then you have the big one, so you have the big one with a big TV and everything in it too, and so I remember this at university is that I'd go to the arcade and just to kind of bum around and maybe play something if I felt like it, but then somebody would get on MVC. And then a bunch of people would start gathering around to watch.
Right.
Right? So now you got like 12 people, 14 people, we're all 20 people, we're all watching this guy absolutely kick ass. And everyone's enjoying it. The two problems, of course, is that nobody's playing a game at this point. All those people are now standing there not playing quarters. But what you are doing is demonstrating to people, look at how cool this game is.
Right.
And when that guy's finally done, he leaves, you have more people popping quarters and be like, I want next, I want
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're generating excitement to be like, I want to try that now, I want to play that. Oh, I didn't get in line, I'm going to go play something else. It's like, sometimes you have to deal with the ebb and flow of that kind of traffic to be like, I want to excite people about playing a game and then let people come in and play it.
And then, and say in the sort of operator controls for like Mortal Kombat, there was you could tweak that. You could set the difficult. Maybe if you're in a particular, maybe your particular arcade is in an area where there's a bunch of really good players.
Yeah.
You could tweak up the difficulty on it. I'm sure there was the whisper network between players of like where the good Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
might have been.
where the good cabinets
I mean,
were.
I
Yeah, the ones that
remember-
don't cheat is what they would say, right?
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they didn't set them to cheat, so go to this one, you can play all the way through.
I
if you
remember
want.
playing DDR, and we determined the best way to get better at that game was because if you got a game over, you lost your, I think it was $1 at that point.
Right. Yeah.
But otherwise, you could get up to 3 songs.
Right.
So you play 2 songs that you were decently good at that you knew you could at least pass,
Yep.
and then the third one was the one where
Oh,
you
I
would
see.
try to do a harder song to get better at it, because then at least you're expanding your time out.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so they released this, and on top of all the actual technical issues, they have very accurately replicated this bullshit cheating that the arcades did. And because you're the one playing the game, you have access to that like operator console section. But like I said, even if you set it to really easy mode, that just gives the ramp a little bit longer. It still ramps up to being basically impossible.
Right.
So it's and so people got mad about this and were like, "Yeah, this is bullshit. It's clearly reading our moves." And part of the answer is like, "Yeah, it is."
What it did.
Right.
You wanted it to be arcade accurate.
You wanted it to be arcade accurate, didn't you? And it's like, no, not like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be. I think in a collection, especially when it's like, oh, we've never released the actual arcade version before. The version that people got was a different version because console was different or not.
Yeah.
If you have that version, but you have like the very original one with that note that basically says, by the way, this is designed to be this way. So yes, the difficulty is actually impossible. But this was originally how it is, and we wanted that in part, like, because then that feels like a history thing, right? It's like you can interact with this historic piece, and not feel like cheated in the same way because you know going in what it's gonna do to you.
It would be awesome. Like, it would be, how cool would it be to do that, to like have the original like console version that is not cheating or not cheating the same way. And then also have the arcade version and have like a thing where it will actually tell you, like have like an on-screen display showing what the AI is doing,
Right.
in terms of messing with your.
Oh yeah,
messing
that'd be
with
cool
you.
too.
Like actually, exactly like you're saying, like as a historical thing, showing this is.
Because we've had other collections that do that where they're like, hey, this is like a bunch of games we had and they're not good games. People are going to play whatever, but you have background about them, and then there's other games in this collection that people are going to actually probably put more time into. And I feel like that would be at least fine for this collection if you have a thing saying that. I'm assuming that there's a bunch of other bad issues with this game that has made people want to return it anyway.
And to their credit, they have spent. They have like an update just came out for it, so they have been acknowledging that there's these other issues. They haven't talked about whether they're going to deal with the arcade thing.
I do.
Or whether that's sort of a philosophical problem as opposed to an actual technical problem. But some of the other issues that they ran into, they have been working on.
Yeah, to me it doesn't sound like a technical problem. It sounds like a communication problem.
I wonder if there is a means of reprogramming, like basically being like, here's the original arcade game, but programmed with a modern decision making, like a decision making AI of some sort.
Like import the AI from like the Mortal Kombat, the current level.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 or something. It's like I wonder if there's a thing where they're
that would be really neat. Yeah.
To be like, what if we can let the thing operate as an agent that understands that it's like, I know all the moves I can do, and I know how my speed is, and I know all these things about what the other character can do as well, so I have a good understanding of like, or I have a basic understanding, whatever you want to make them for difficulty. And I wonder if there is really a way to do that, or if that's just like, well, now you're just re-implementing Mortal Kombat 1 with a retro filter on it, right? And it's like, what's the point in that? So,
but anyway, and then let's finish up here with
Graham's beef with Soldier Boy.
Yeah, the ongoing.
Oh, let this never end.
long-term beef between Graham and Soldier Boy, that is extremely bi-directional. Both of them.
Yep.
Both of them completely acknowledge that this beef exists. It's not just that Graham has this beef and Soldier Boy doesn't know what's going on. But
and for those of you who keep leaving comments that are like, couldn't Graham have charged back his credit card and all these other things? This is pretty old, and it's clear that Graham's not going to let it go. So I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
But probably, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this was 2018 was the original one. So yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, it's just what makes me the most sort of sad about this, I guess, is that so obviously, so the story is that Soldier Boy's coming out with, or was advertising a new, the retro gaming console that was extremely blatantly.
Yeah, I like that it was exactly the same photo.
It was just the same photos with a couple of words changed on it for a Retroid thing that he was charging twice as much for.
Like, I almost didn't see the shoulder graphic change.
Yeah.
Because it's so similar.
And Retroid is like, we don't know this guy.
Yeah,
We're not doing
that's
business
the best
with him.
part. The best part is that they're just like, we don't know. We never gave him permission for this. Also, we patented this.
Yeah.
That's really funny to me.
So yeah, it's definitely a scam. Obviously, don't buy it. But the thing that makes me sad is that I remember, like, when the original thing came out, or when Soldier Boy did this the first time, 2018. I thought like there was this sort of neat idea that, like, this guy, 2018, he was a relatively well-known hip hop artist. Maybe not like at the top of his game at that point, but he was reasonably well known. And the idea that he's just like also passionate about retro video games and wanted to do this, I thought was really neat.
Sure, yeah.
But it's clear, obviously, that he's not passionate about retro video games at all. It's just a scam thing, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like the idea that I love this. You see that every once in a while with like actors or musicians or different things where they have whatever the thing that they are famous for, and then they've got like some other thing that they're really passionate about that's completely unrelated.
Yes.
That they'll just be like this. There's like this guy, whatever.
Henry Cavill loves Warhammer.
Or Steve Martin loves the banjo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been his thing if he also wasn't just so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, watching somebody be like, "Oh, I have this thing that I love to do outside of the reason why you know me," and then but using that as the basis to be like, "Well, then I'm going to sell you this product that is basically just an overpriced version of something that is probably kind of or even very illegal." It doesn't matter because you'll buy it anyway, and maybe nobody will call me on it, or like I don't know what the expectation is there.
Like the original thing was like a rebranded Alibaba thing. That was, sketchy coming from Alibaba, and now an added level of sketchiness on top of that.
There's a sheer amount of like the amount of the amount of tiny handheld 801 gaming console things that you can buy now. The fact that there are people who have video game channels that seem to be like every week, if I don't have anything else to talk about, I'm just going to talk about here's the latest $40 thing that you can get and how it's so much better than the last $40 thing you can get.
There does seem to be a glut of those kind of devices right now.
Yeah, and it just seems like there's a ton of those, like a ton of that floating around and a ton of promotion going on.
Well, and I assume a lot of those devices start also throwing themselves at those channels to make videos about them as well, because they probably get more marketing at that point.
And I know a lot of them are actually, like, I don't know about the Retroid one, but it seems, I know it's well reviewed and stuff. I know like Alex has a cool sort of multi thing.
Yep.
I think James has one too and stuff. He's like, they've been very impressed with some of those little devices. I think they play everything up to like PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, like Heather has an analog pocket.
Right.
You got
it does all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I use it to play with carts, though. I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at any of the emulation stuff.
Yeah.
Right, because Analog Pocket was that one. They was specifically designed it so that it can work with cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've got like little adapters so you can get different types of cards and stuff. So, I mean, part of the reason I have that, outside of being gifted it by a really nice friend, is that it lets me do.
It's got the HDMI.
The HDMI out, so I have been able to stream.
Oh, nice.
Off of cartridges, which is what I prefer to do. I'm not against emulation. It's just for me, it's a nostalgic thing of I like having the cart. I like playing off of that.
Yeah, it's like the more accurate experience.
And I had a flash card for my DS because Ian was like, "Have you heard of these things?" And I'm like, I have
Oh,
not.
yeah.
He's like, I'll bring you back one when I come back from Japan, and so he did, and I just like a Sakura or the M3 Sakura or whatever, and I tried it out, and I'm like, this is amazing to just be able to load up my console with, however many fit on an SD card of DS games and stuff, and I'm like, this for me it was. This unlocks a way for me to play, or at least try out a lot of like Japanese games that I was never going to get access to see if they were playable or not. And I bummed around on those for a while.
That's such a I got one of those from my buddy from Japan, or
Yeah.
my buddy who's like went to Japan.
Yeah,
It's such like a
that's a very school boy kind of thing, right?
yeah. It's such a like stereotypical
Yeah.
story for that.
Yeah.
And
That
like,
was-
oh
that
man,
was
I
the
was like,
time
because
period.
I was always jealous of like I had a couple of friends who either had family or had traveled or stuff, and they had the cartridges like that. I was like, man, I don't have a friend in Japan. I need to get a buddy in Japan.
The one kid that was rumored apparently to have a Super Famicom back when it came out, which of course was like months before the Super Nintendo comes out in North America, but it was like you found out that, oh yeah, so and so got one because his dad went on a trip to Japan and then picked it up and brought it home for him, and now he has like Super Mario World, and like months before we're even gonna get it. And it's like, who has that? And it's like, I don't know. I was talking, and a buddy told me that a friend of his in town had it. And it's like, so now it's me. It's a friend of a friend of a friend who has
Yeah.
one of these floating around.
His
somewhere.
uncle who works at Nintendo.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just the sense of like, so there's somebody in town who owns one, and we could go play at their house. It's like, yeah, but I don't know who it is because so and so wouldn't tell me or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole period of time, even when we started to get like a little bit more going on with the internet, where you still, like, especially like with anime and stuff, there was still that market of like, oh, this magazine talks about the anime that's in Japan right now that we don't know if we're even gonna get.
Yeah.
Like, and
Right, yeah.
and that kind of thing was still.
Boy,
'cause-
how lucky we were.
Like it was that was a valuable
yeah,
thing.
it felt very valuable. At
Keep
the time.
circulating the tapes.
In the same in the same way that you used to read magazine articles about E3 because nobody could go, so it was like this like mythical event.
Yeah.
That you would see screenshots of stuff and you'd be like, oh, that's gonna be so cool, and that like now you're kind of seeing like old videos filter into like YouTube and stuff of like those things, and you're looking at them and you're like, nah, I don't think we would have thought these were as cool if we could see them move.
Sometimes it's better to leave it as a mystery. Let's move on to some stories that we didn't cover. Oh, I guess the
Yeah, what was the outro?
the coming up.
Arcadia.
We were talking about Arcadia, which is the new mode for Mind's Eye, which opens it up for user content creation. Which, if you recall, is this kind of interesting thing where Mind's Eye was actually supposed to be Arcadia, like the user content creation. It was supposed to be a user content creation
Yeah.
platform, and the game that we now know as Mind's Eye was just sort of was going to be like a sample of one of some of the cool things you could do with it, and then stuff happened over time, and it turned into the actual game itself, which is part of the reason why Mind's Eye is very disappointing as a game. But and so now they're like, Mind's Eye, and then now they're sort of reintroducing it, Arcadia, as like, check out this, now you can have user generated content. But of course, for one thing, if we're talking user generated content, now you're up against Roblox and Fortnite.
Yeah.
And then also it's like, to have user generated content, you gotta have users.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like users
Like-
are not going to come to your place if nobody's going to play the thing, nobody's going to make content for it.
Well, when you say something like the game that we all know as Mind's Eye, and I'm kind of like the game that maybe you know as Mind's Eye, Paul, because
Yeah.
to be frank, I've never fucking heard of
I
this
think
thing.
we've brought it up maybe all of twice.
Yeah.
Once to be like, there's this game called Mind's Eye and people are upset about it, and then I think the other time to be like, the person who works on Mind's Eye is angry about other game
Yeah.
existing.
I think
And that's I think they blamed a different game for their lack of sales or something
was
weird.
it a Tom Clancy game? Was it a Division?
No, I think it was like
the
some other shooter or something. I don't know, but
yeah
just
the
remember being like, it was kind of a nothing burger of a story, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you like never see Mind's Eye. Yeah, I haven't seen like a headline talking about Mind's Eye without the fact that it didn't sell very well being also in the
Yeah, like,
in the headline, like failed game Mind's Eye or
We get-
Mind's Eye.
Yeah, like we get
Big
like
disappointment.
there's a Fortnite story practically every week because they have something new coming out, right? You don't typically hear one way or the other about Fortnite. We get like anytime a Roblox story comes up, we're all like,
or the
oh, what they do now? Like, you know, and there's like sometimes you hear other stuff and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. Mind's Eye is like, I think we talked about it once.
the other one that we talked about that where Mind's Eye came up is the voice actor for the main character in Mind's Eye. He's
Right.
what he was talking about. He's because he was the voice actor for the main character in Mind's Eye, and he also voice acted like main characters in a couple of games, other games that were like very poorly received. For a variety of reasons.
Right.
And he's like,
I don't know if I want to do.
yeah, it's like I'm sorry, I'm not like, I feel like I'm the Grim Reaper for these things, but he's
Yeah.
he's saying he's gotten lots of positive feedback of people being like, you were the best thing about that game, or
Right.
you did a great job, too bad the game
Yeah.
sucked, etc. But he's just like, in the context of the story, he was more talking about like, hey, maybe don't yell at voice actors for games that suck because they have
Yeah.
no
They really
control
don't
of
have
that.
a lot of control over that part. No.
Oh yeah, Mafia 3. That was another one. That was the other one that he was involved with. But
Yeah, just didn't take off. Yeah.
anyway,
I assume we're gonna have a huge influx of games in May next year. By the way, because GTA 6 has now been
Delayed
delayed
to
to like November. So
that's I mean that's one of the stories I was talking about was GTA 6 has been delayed till November, which I remember like when there's the whole thing about like Silk Song
yeah.
when that came out and had a very short announcement to release and everybody got mad about that, all the stuff. And they were talking about the comparing to GTA 6 as another game where everyone's kind of getting out
Yeah,
of the way.
because it's also been delayed a couple of times, and there's been a few times where people have been like, okay, we think it's safe to put our game here, and then they move because GTA 6 is like, we're going to be there.
So, yeah, so do you think-
Yeah, so I expect an influx of different games in May all of a sudden.
Or maybe May will just be like this weird empty spot
Ooh.
because everyone will have avoided May, and now of course people are going to be like, crap, now our November release is totally screwed.
Right.
Oh, I mean, the November release is definitely screwed now.
But yeah, if you're one of the companies that like push back your May release to November, you're just like,
So that's on its own. That's just like one piece of news, right? That it's like, oh, we delayed this thing 6 months.
Yeah, I
It's like,
think
okay,
I
that
think
has
they said they
happened.
delayed it for polish,
yeah,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
we're not going to be ready.
which you know.
What also
perfectly good.
just happened to Rockstar this same week that they announced they were delaying it?
Didn't they get rid of a whole bunch of people again?
Well, yeah, well,
Or
not even
no,
that.
no,
so
they got rid of people last week or something.
yeah, the trick is Rockstar didn't actually They didn't actually get rid of that many people, but the specific people that they got, there's about I think 30 or 40 people that got laid off from Rockstar.
For leaking information or something like that. I think.
Yeah,
is the reason they were
in
given.
the
people who were. This is the union busting.
Yeah, they were given no reason for why they were laid off. Post hoc, Rockstar says they were leaking information. There hasn't been any confirmation as to why, if that is true, but a lot of people who were saying that coincidentally, a whole bunch of these people, for one thing, these people were like senior people at Rockstar, and possibly part of the reason why it's now being delayed. GTA is being
Can't
delayed.
say for sure, but
But these were, high up people at Rockstar and in charge of a lot of important things, and had, in many cases, had been there for a long time. They were also almost universally, I think, people who were
trying to organize the union.
who are on the board of the union organization thing, which, like the week before, had hit the 10% or whatever it is, requirement for actually like
Right.
activating I think it's you get sort of 10% signatures and then you do a vote or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what
say it's like
what the
we
process
can
is.
bring this
Yeah.
up and we can actually start now act.
Yeah. Sorry.
We can
I keep
formally
forgetting.
start building a union and seeing if people actually want to join a union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, of course, whenever it's like with Red Dead Redemption or I mean another Rockstar game, but or Sea of Thieves or some of these other games in GTA, which of course is always now referred to as GTA, not Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
It's just always funny that when they talk about there's these games that are sort of predicated on you being a criminal and doing illegal things is what you do in the game.
Yes.
That's the fun part of the game.
Yeah.
That they are often, because they've gotten really popular and really big, the companies that made them are also really big. And so the companies have to be very particular or are very particular about different stuff. And they're like, yeah, we had to fire these people because they were leaking information, which I mean, it's one of those things that's very difficult to prove one way or another, but it seems a little unlikely.
Yeah, I feel like you
but-
want some ironclad proof of that.
But I'm
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that it's one thing to say that it's like
They
we're
stole a car.
Yeah, saying we're delaying this game for 6 months, and then everyone goes, "Oh my goodness, like what's going on there?" And that's awful. And there's the other side of the first piece of news that I heard was Rockstar fired a bunch of people who were part of the union organizing efforts at Rockstar, and they didn't give them a reason why to begin with, and then they told us all later. And it's like, that seems weird. And then the second piece of news I saw was, oh, by the way, we're delaying this game, and there was there's some thought that it's like, are they delaying the game because it needs to be polished? It's going to need that extra work, especially because if you let a bunch of people go, that you're like, we have to now go through a process of reorganizing and getting people up to speed on new jobs or whatever the hell we're going to do. Or are they delaying it because they need to insert something into the news pipeline to distract everyone away from talking about what has just happened here? And again, it's one of those, we don't know what's going on. We just saw two things happen at the same time at Rockstar.
Right.
Very close to each other. There's no way of knowing if these things are related to each other or not. But we are all pretty good at making suppositions and being like, the nature of being suspicious. Don't let this go by. Be like, I'm suspicious of the fact that both these things happened, and don't also don't be like, oh, ignore the part about the union busting. Let's just concentrate on this. It's like, no, let's think about the people who lost their jobs here. That's the more important part than whether this game gets delayed by 6 months. Because in 6 months, you're still going to have this game. These people are not going to have these jobs.
It does.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I agree that there's definitely news that gets put out for trying to tamp out bad news. Usually you try to put out something overly exciting
You would, yeah, absolutely.
as your memory wipe, but also it does sound more like a consequence of their actions.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I would think that
I
this
guess, yeah.
that this particular news story, I don't think Rockstar would consider it bad enough. Like,
it would not be
a
the
few-
reason to say
a
we
few-
need
a
to
few-
make up a reason to delay.
yeah,
the
like
game.
a few
Yeah.
people, so some people being laid off, and that being associated with possibly being this like union busting thing, is such a common occurrence.
Yeah, like honestly,
which is depressing.
It'd be more interesting if they were like, we're moving it up to March.
Yeah.
yeah, like that's and I mean that's the thing. The whole idea of like at the beginning of the story, it was like, right, they laid off people. They did what again? Like, what did they do?
Right.
Because it feels like every week, every day, sometimes if I look at gaming news, it's, union busting's happening over here. This thing has people being let go. Was it Square is going to replace 70% of its QA staff with
AI,
AI,
sure,
which is
why not?
totally going to work great for them. And I'm just, it's just like such a bombardment of terrible news already.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of what the terrible thing is that's happening at which one now. So I almost don't think you need the
distraction.
We put out the distraction news. I'm like,
Don't worry, it's just going to get
Yeah.
lost among all the rest of the bad news.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a fun time to be
Yeah, different
alive.
story.
Yeah,
Yes. Another story. Hey, Pac-Man.
Yeah,
He's
Pac-Man.
laying off.
He's
So
eating everyone.
Three ghosts.
speaking of,
They're keeping Pinky, right?
We were talking about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection stuff. An example of a retro collection, I would say done right,
Yeah.
is the Atari 50 collection, which came out a couple of years ago now, I think. But and that was done in a really interesting way in the sense that it was. I've talked about this a couple times, but the Atari 50 collection is basically done almost as like a museum or as a informational thing.
Yeah.
Where so it's like, here's here's this game.
Yeah, here's how we made Galaxy.
Here's all the cool information about it. Blah blah blah. Also, you can just play it.
Yeah.
Like so, it's sort of it's not just a list of all the games
Yeah.
in a big bundle and you can play them all. They tries to put them all in context and stuff, which is I think really neat. Ironically, being that it's called Atari 50, it's actually had a number of updates over the course of the last year or two, so that it's Atari much larger number now. And
So
they're
the 50's not because it's like their 50th anniversary or something.
Well, it's supposed to be, but it also had 50 games in it.
Oh, okay. They were going for the double thing.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And so now they are releasing and when you say 50 games, I believe that's stretched a little because it's like multiple versions of a lot of games.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's what all those emulator consoles do too.
Yeah. So they're coming out with a Pac-Man DLC.
Oh dear.
It's going to be $8. And again, it's going to have 3 different versions of Pac-Man: the 2600, the 5200, and the Atari 8-bit versions.
Okay.
Which is again, especially interesting. Like this is back in the day where consoles, there were a lot more consoles, and they had their capabilities were a lot less, a lot more different.
Standard?
Yeah, a lot less standardized.
And because it's like
And
anybody
so-
can make a console with any kind of microcontroller. Yeah.
And so you would have, and so like the same game, and then in the game that's super popular, like Pac-Man, because it's very popular, but also like fundamentally a relatively simple game.
Yes.
Games like Pac-Man or whatever, that it would come out on all these consoles, but it would be made on the different consoles. Often would be made by completely different teams
Yeah.
at completely different places, and optimized to whatever thing. So there'd be like this version of it. Whatever there's only one kind of ghost because
Yeah.
they didn't have enough colors to represent
Yeah.
the
Or
four
we
ghosts.
can't put cherries on the screen for whatever reason, so we put a bell on the screen or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's got 3 Pac-Man games, an interactive timeline exploring the history of Namco titles on Atari consoles. They've got like video interviews with the developers and stuff, and then there's also going to be Dig Dug and Zevius.
Yeah, Xevious.
Zevius.
Yeah.
And
Those
then,
are made by Namco. Like this is the Namco pack, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those are going to be the arcade versions of those. Again, re-released for the first time ever on sort of a home console kind of thing. And then home console versions of Galaga, Xevious, Galaxian, and Dig Dug and stuff.
Galaxian. Yeah.
So again, there's the similarities with the Mortal Kombat package are kind of interesting in the sense that it's like, obviously, Pac-Man and Dig Dug and a bunch of the Galaga and all these games, people played on home consoles a lot. But again, the home console version was different in various ways than the original arcade version. Sometimes because the home consoles were a lot less powerful than the arcade.
Did you ever play Pac-Man for the Atari 2600?
I did not.
I did. Owned a copy.
Yeah.
For $8, you can get another one.
Yeah.
And
It is dog shit.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so bad.
Well, and I'm assuming that they're gonna that it's gonna have like the time, so it'll explain
Yeah.
why it's dog shit.
I hope so.
Maybe the interview with the man who made it like that.
Yeah, because he'll probably say that he'll probably be like, yeah, I only had 3 months or whatever to like. It very much kind of the story kind of mimics the.
It's like I had 3 months and 4K of memory. What do you want from
Yeah,
me?
there's only so much that you can do, and we were trying to make this work, and it's like, yeah, that's why the other versions were better because we had more memory, we had more sprites, we could do other things with it. And that's why you couldn't have dots on the screen, you had to have dashes that he was eating and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, there is a what I do love though is that given like 40 years, 50 years of hindsight, somebody did re-implement Pac-Man on the Atari 2600 and said, here's the ways that they could have fixed all the problems if you'd done this and you did this and you did this. And it's like, yeah, when you have 40 years of development and evolution,
time with no deadlines.
but also
And usually
the
these
evolution of
games-
programming skills and stuff, where it's like we know what we can do with this hardware, but we also know different ways to think about the problem.
And I mean, and often these games were literally done by like one person.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe how many games that I had for our Coleco Gemini that were just like, oh yeah, this is an infamously bad version of this game.
I think we played Pac-Man on the Sega Genesis and Galaxian. I think that's the versions I had.
Those would be a lot more doable because they would be a lot closer to what the arcade version would
Yeah,
be like.
there were like only a few video games I could get my dad interested to play, and it was stuff like that. It was like Pac-Man, Galaxian,
Stuff he saw in
Dr.
the-
Mario,
yeah. He might have
and
seen
like
them in the arcade. Yeah.
Duck Hunt.
Mm.
Or like
Oh, he'd love Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt. My mom was really into Tetris and Dr. Mario.
Yeah, my mom too.
My dad cheated at Duck Hunt.
Oh, he just got up to the screen.
Yeah,
and just,
he got really close to the screen.
He figured out how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, he
There's
wouldn't
like
allow me to have the same rules. You know, it's just
there's like a recurring thing of moms being amazing at Tetris.
Yes,
oh yeah, I know.
and Dr. Mario too. But
I've heard
yeah.
that from like so many different people. Just
Oh
like,
shit, yeah.
my mom was amazing at it. For whatever reason, that seems to be a thing that everyone
I
locked
want
into.
to talk about that for a few minutes because I think there's something about like I don't know what it is, but I think there's just something about the like boomer moms that if they had video games in the 50s and 60s, that they would have been all over that shit.
yeah.
Probably more than the boys would have been, I think, in fact. That because the boys would have been like, go outside and play with football with your
think-
friends or whatever. I feel like that might be a little more whatever. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard to find boomer dads who are really into it. But boomer moms are like, they come to
Oh.
video games so easily for some reason.
No, Dr. Mario was the thing that took over the TV, the TV in our living room, and half the time it was my mom pulverizing my dad in a 2-player mode. I mean, she was really good at the single player as well, but she was like, no, we go competitive.
Yeah.
Like I don't get my competitive streak from my dad.
No.
I get it from my mom.
Yeah. There's just I know there's a whole thing about like that if you were to track men versus women on a chart or whatever, there was always that thing of like men have slightly higher spatial acuity than women or whatever, and I'm like I have a hard time believing that's not like a general thing that's always true, obviously, then too, because it's like no, people are
if it
people.
is-
We're
yeah.
always going to be different in different ways, and it's like watching my mom play Tetris and just go to fucking town is so impressive. I wish she would do that more often. Now she's on Facebook all the time. I kind of wish she'd go back and
Yeah.
play more. I wish you could find people to play Tetris with online or something and just be like, I'm just going to do that because that would be, I would love that.
It's funny though, because I think now, if my parents were still around, I think my mom would really dig some of the new visual novels
Oh, yeah.
that are out. And I think my dad would have really, because he was really into westerns, I think he really would have liked Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wow.
I would have hated it based on what I read, but like I read a thing about like how they've like really like hone in on certain stuff of that genre, and like I think my dad would have really loved that.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
that would have been really cool for him, which is kind of funny because it's like game's way over here and game way over here.
In keeping with ChillPoint talking about
Shoes.
cool shoes,
Well, we gotta have at least a shoe topic once a week, right?
It's true.
We really need a shoe department, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Can we
Uh,
start like
It's
I
checkpoints.
don't know? Can Lure make shoes? Like, can we get some really cool blue kicks or something
Blue with dots.
I can
that don't
try
look
to find out.
that don't look like Sonic?
I can look into this.
Or at least maybe some shoelaces.
Well, shoelaces are easy, yeah.
Yeah, we
the,
can make
uh,
some Lure branded shoelaces, right?
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to yes, the recurring checkpoint segment, Show Feet, where we talk about shoes. And Sony, it's PlayStation's 30th anniversary.
Show these feet.
It's a Sorny.
And they are coming out with some sweet collaboration with Reebok to do these sweet Reebok pumps, and based on the PlayStation 1, which legit
Oh my god.
pretty great actually. Like
Yeah, they
no,
did that color really well.
what I love is so it's got like the PlayStation logo and stuff there, but more cool. So it's got got the little memory card things. The inside of the tongue has the like memory card sewn in there.
Cute.
It's good. It has good detail.
Yeah, it's got a little thing on the insole. It's pretty sweet.
They look
Yeah.
good from the side, definitely. I love that they're pumps. Like I just love the fact that Reebok is like, oh, we made the pumps and people like those. It's like, yep, just you'll find lots of Gen Xers and lots
Yeah.
of millennials who want these.
I mean, I want shoes that are comfortable.
Oh,
They're
these-
like little dots and circles and or circles and X's
yeah.
and squares. Relief there. So
Like
yeah.
I like my shoes to have like more color than that, but in the the 90s is that when the PlayStation happened?
they're
That this would have been really hot.
like those look. What I like about like those look like comfy and actually like pretty wearable. Although I guess you're not. I don't know if you're supposed. Maybe you're not supposed to wear them, but
nobody wears shoes these days, Paul. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
we
how
all
do we
buy
show our
Crocs.
No.
but anyway, super cool, and also.
Ooh, yeah. You know what?
so-
If they make GameCube shoes in the purple,
Oh,
in that kind of style,
can you
I'd
make-
definitely go
can,
for
Can you?
those.
Could they make transparent purple, so you can
That's
see
all
your
purple.
so you can see your foot inside the
Yes.
shoe?
Yeah.
That sounds really cool, and I don't know that it would look as good as my brain is telling me that would look.
Because like my complaint with those is that they really are they're very much just New Balance 555 gray on white. Like they're just very much those are very much dad shoes.
I mean, they're Reeboks, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like that's the biggest disappointment of those is that I was like, okay, cool, I like what we got going on here with the pump and with everything else. But then seeing when you pulled it up the first time, like, okay, I'm like, yeah, this is just. Well, that's it. Like, you're just going to walk around in these things and no one's going to notice, no one's going to pick up on anything interesting about your shoes whatsoever. But when you saw it from the side, I'm like, oh, there's some crazy shit going on the side. That's something. It makes your
Yeah.
shoe look unique. But I'm like, ultimately, it looks like a dad's shoe. And if you could get indigo purple GameCube shoes, I'd be like, well, that's at least making a statement on your feet. Like, that's saying to people. And then if you can get the Game Boy player attachment to go on the bottom of the so you can just get a little bit higher off the ground as well.
platforming.
Get platform GameCube shoes.
Neat.
But also, I'm pretty sure anybody who is nostalgic for the PlayStation 1 is in the right age category for
New Balances?
for dad shoes.
Yeah,
is what-
they need their dad shoes right now.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that if we make Lure shoes, we can either make really cool sneakers, shoelaces, or Crocs.
We could probably make Crocs.
I feel like those are pretty different tiers in terms
Yeah.
of difficulty level.
I feel like we could make Crocs. You get little tugger nuts, goat heads to go on them.
You
and
like the little
Lure
charms,
hearts.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can repurpose
Those
all
are the
those.
things people do
unsold
that.
pins.
Maybe I don't know. I wear Crocs sometimes for like as like a slipper replacement, essentially, of like quickly put on some shoes that you need to like run outside to get the mail and that kind of thing. But I've never seen anyone with the charms.
Yeah. No, me neither.
Uh,
What else you got?
other Sony stuff. This is actually pretty cool. We talked about that the PlayStation Portal has been sort of surprisingly successful. Maybe not surprisingly, but it's been actually quite successful for Sony. With the like 5% attachment rate is what they're
US, yeah.
talking about. And one of the big things, obviously, with the PlayStation Portal, what the Portal aspect of it is that you can play stuff from your PlayStation on the thing. They've actually just pushed out a new update for it that really kind of changes the game on it and makes it. They've added it. It actually changes the UI and stuff a bunch too. So it adds a new section for cloud streaming. So
Yeah, they talked about doing that like ages ago.
yeah, and they were like testing it, and now I guess they're doing it. So like now, not only is it like before you had to actually you had the game running on your personal PS5.
Yeah.
Doing it now. I mean, you still have to own the game,
Sure.
or you have to have a PlayStation Plus account
Ah.
where you can stream a bunch of games. And so you can just stream it straight. You don't even have to download it to your PlayStation. Can be doing something else. Somebody else can be playing stuff. It could be turned off, whatever, and you can just
Right.
actually play it.
Has anyone tried this out yet that doesn't live in like Silicon Valley?
There is that. Or
I mean,
like in
presumably
Japan.
it has the same problem as any other cloud streaming service where it works for some games.
If you have a PlayStation Plus account,
Probably not good for the rhythm games.
but you only own a PS Portal, do you think it would just let you play?
It should, yeah.
It should.
Yeah. That's
It doesn't need the
thing.
PS5 as a go-between to say, "Oh, I'll ensure that I'm making this connection and then I'll get the hell out of the way."
I think it
from what I
only-
understand, no.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
I mean, before this week,
Yeah.
you would have been kind of stupid to have a PlayStation
Absolutely.
and only a PlayStation Portal because you couldn't really do much with it.
You probably are better to have a PlayStation 4 or 5 if you have a PlayStation Plus account
Do you
rather than just the Portal and that.
Do you
but-
need to be online constantly to play like a PS Plus premium game?
I mean, if you're cloud, definitely.
If you're- yeah, definitely if
if
it's
you're doing the
cloud
cloud
only,
one, I don't think so I think you have to have it online to like basically do the thing that's checking your credentials, but
Right. So
I
for-
don't think you need it for like a PS5.
I'm trying to triangulate here how this would work because it's like because I'm trying to what I'm trying to get from this is like these are all PS5 games that you can play on this handheld device because I'm trying to see how close did they come to making a handheld console here. Like they're scratching the surface of
So
it.
but the big thing is that in either of the modes, there is nothing actually running on the PlayStation Portal itself.
Right, it's doing no actual gaming.
So
it's just a cloud stream. Yeah.
It's either cloud streaming or it's streaming directly from your personal
Or
PlayStation 5.
remote
Right.
playing.
Yeah,
Right.
remote playing.
That is kind of, I mean, this is very compelling idea if you're like, I wanted to play some PS5 stuff, but I don't give a shit if I have a PS5. I don't want to buy one, but I can buy this thing and get a PS Plus subscription.
In some ways, you could almost see it as it's almost that it's like the thing with the with the Wii U where there's the Wiimote or the Wii
The gamepad.
The
the
gamepad.
gamepad.
Yeah.
But then people quickly realized that if you took the gamepad too far away, it stopped
Yes.
working.
Yeah.
They've just put an update where it'll just keep working
Yeah.
if you take it far away, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, as an idea, it's like being able to be like, okay, you can't get on the bus and play a video game, but you can go to your workplace and on your lunch period, like you can dig it out of your backpack and be like, I'm gonna play a PS5 game streamed over my work Wi-Fi or something if it's open.
Yeah.
This is kind of a compelling, like it's close to being a console.
Again, I want to read reports of actual people using it in the wild
Yes.
to know how well it works.
Yeah.
Because we also said, hey, the Google streaming cloud service thing sounds like a really cool idea too, and where did that go? And
Yeah.
that did not work super well for a lot of people either. And I mean, yeah, granted, it's going to be the same kind of thing. Certain games aren't going to maybe run as well, or it's going to depend on your internet connection. But that's the thing. We still live in a society where internet is not that great everywhere.
And it was interesting because like the whole thing with the Lord Zorano talking about the NVIDIA Shield, and yeah, it was basically that same idea but for PlayStation as opposed to your PC, and so because of course in its sort of original iteration, it was the PlayStation 5 itself was sending the stuff, so you did avoid a lot of that latency stuff. Obviously, there's still a little bit of latency, but a lot less. When you're doing the cloud thing, obviously there is a certain amount of latency that is going to happen. And you know, they say that cloud streaming makes it easier to enjoy PS5 games on the go at a hotel, a cafe, friend's place, or anywhere with a high-speed internet Wi-Fi connection. So obviously, it's a lot of it is going to be it's going to be dependent on not only the speed of your connection, but how stable your connection is and how close you are to wherever their cloud servers are.
In the hypothetical that I were to get one of these, I can't remember how much a PlayStation Portal costs, but let's assume it's a price that is
$300, $400.
that is like, oh yeah, I definitely want to get one of these things as an attachment to my whatever.
Sure.
The shape of it is a little, I don't know, like I can't put the Switch without a cover into my bag. I will not allow myself to do that. It's just going to break if I do that.
Yep.
The joysticks are going to get mangled. The screen's going to get something. Do they sell like portable, like this thing won't die in your bag
Like a Tom Talk case or something?
cases or something?
I mean, I'm sure there are
is
cases
that-
for it.
Is that a thing?
I do.
Because if the initial use case of this was, hey, you have it
Right.
around your house.
Like, here we go. Here's a
You-
carrying case for it right now.
Oh, okay.
Molded.
God, that
probably.
looks so.
I mean, this is probably not a good
Yeah.
carrying
Okay.
case,
Yeah.
It's
but yes. Yep, they have carrying cases.
Just because like the physical structure of it is such a way that it's like, okay, so the Switch has some issues if it's bare. This thing has all kinds of points of contact that are gonna like get caught on things in your bag.
Yeah, it's true. The
as you try to
Switch
pull it
doesn't have the
out
sticky outy
and
bits.
As many, yeah.
I do-
I mean, if it works really well and there's a use case for it, then I guess that's cool.
I do like the way the PlayStation Portal looks like. You know, it looks like you took a PS5 controller and went, and then there's like a screen inside it.
Yeah. It just kind of folds out. It's I mean, I guess you could take this. That means you could play just about anywhere, and I mean, you can play anywhere if you just get yourself a PS5 Slim and then put it in a backpack, and then when you get on a plane, just plug your PS5 into the outlet on the plane, and then just bring out your PS Portal and play video games from your PS5, which is running.
Okay, I understand the face you're making, Paul, but we did have a friend who literally like lugged his Wii U onto like the ferry and would plug it in and play on the gamepad, and he tried to do it in like people's cars when we went on road trips. That one did not work as well, but it actually kind of did work.
Yeah.
So there are people who are that weird.
I'm just saying, I would not recommend running a PlayStation 5 inside a closed backpack. I'm pretty sure that would not work for
underneath
very
the
long.
seat,
Couple of stories about. So, I have a couple of stories about bots in Battlefield 6.
Great.
Okay.
I believe, and confusingly, I believe these are actually completely unrelated. Like, the reasons why bots are in these different things are actually totally separate. Mm-hmm. They're just two different situations where bots are showing up.
They're metabots.
And we're talking bots in the sense of in-game, players, generated by the game. We're not talking like hackers and stuff.
We need a seat filler.
So starting the first thing being, so Battlefield 6 is a cross-play game. You can play. It's available for PlayStation 5 and PC and Xbox, I think, as well, probably. Yeah, actually, definitely Xbox. So, but as with often with cross-play titles, especially first-person shooter titles, playing it with a mouse and keyboard and playing it with a controller is a lot different. And so sometimes, so they have an option if you're on PlayStation or if you're on a console. There's an option in the matchmaking to be like, do you want to be do you want to be matchmaking with everybody or just other PlayStation players?
Oh, okay, sure.
So do you want to how much difference console versus controller makes in terms of play and in terms of the auto aiming for controllers and stuff, up for debate. But anyway, the issue is that by default it's open to PlayStation and PC players. It's open to everybody.
Okay.
That's the default mode, which means that if you switch it into only PlayStation 5 mode, so that you're only going to be matched with PlayStation people, you're only matched with other people who have also explicitly set their thing to only be PlayStation 5 people. Because
that makes sense.
Because that means, because the idea is then now you want to be in a lobby with no PC people at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the issue is people, the issue is there aren't enough people who are doing that to make full games properly.
Right, especially if the default is set to
and because the default
and
is,
people don't care, then.
So
yeah,
what's
okay.
happening is people get thrown into big Battlefield matches, and like 80% of the players are bots, because they have to like fill out the match.
Right. Okay.
And that obviously PlayStation players are kind of annoyed by this. I get that Battlefield 6 is meant to be a more casual shooter, but it still doesn't make it fun to go up against people with a big hardware and peripheral advantage. As a user on I think it's on Reddit or something. But in my opinion, they should make the default option console only crossplay, so only PC or only PlayStation and Xbox. And then if somebody using mouse and keyboard on console or just wants to play with their PC friends, they can turn that on. But they can turn it on. But by default, console players should only play with console things. So, and obviously this opens up a lot of anything like this opens up a lot of controversy. From well, you could just get good. To whether how the crossplay, because the thing is, each option is available, but it's like which one should be default, because obviously most people don't change the default. But anyway, I think that is an interesting idea. But the other story about bots in Battlefield 6 is actually a new mode that they've made. So they have added a new mode called Casual Breakthrough Mode.
Okay.
So this new mode is designed to be a more comfortable entry point for new players. So the idea is that you can rank, if you're a new player or you haven't played for a while, you can rank up while fighting mostly bot enemies. Teams will consist of 8 players and 16 bot characters per team.
Okay.
So you have 24 people on a team, and then 2 teams. So each team will only have 8 real players and 16 bot players. Obviously, so the consternation about this is for one thing, that people this isn't just like a training mode. People are actually getting ranks.
Sure.
And stuff. The way that Battlefield said, they say it works by like you're playing against 8 real players, 16 bot players. Killing real players gets you more points than killing bot players.
Sure.
In this mode. And at the moment there's only a couple maps in the rotation. Personally, I actually think this is kind of a cool. This is kind of a neat idea to me. So, a thing that comes up quite often in discussions about matchmaking, especially in first-person shooters or in highly competitive games, is what's sometimes called skill-based matchmaking, right?
Right. Yeah.
Where you get put into matches with people who are of approximately your level of skill.
Yeah.
In terms
Usually
of
they do it by a
win-loss.
ranking system.
Approximately your level of ranking.
Sure.
And there is a very large contingent of people who don't like that. So because there's other ways to, sometimes people just do free for all lobbies, and there's different things.
Right.
There's a large contingent of people who don't like skill based matchmaking, and the reasoning they give is that, like, I don't want to basically have to be sort of super sweaty, hardcore, going as hard as I can all the time. Sometimes I just want to hang out with my friends.
Oh yeah.
And stuff.
And just
and if,
stomp them because I'm so much better than them. Yeah.
right. That's
Well,
of
I
course.
mean, you're
and
probably going to hold back a bit.
but of course the argument obviously against it is other people being like, so those games that you're saying, like, sometimes I just want to relax and, like, kill a bunch of people and stuff. You're killing new players that are and making them not have fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's a zero sum game to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It's like, if you so it's like you should be being challenged. That's the whole point of them skill based. So I don't know, maybe, and I don't know, the kind of people who object to the skill based matchmaking probably are not the kind of people who would want to play this mode. But I feel like this kind of mode, it's like, okay, we had, I played some ladder matches. They were, went back and forth. It was, super tough. Played against people of my level or better, and we had some real sweaty games. Now I just want to chill. I'll play some of these casual games where, there will be some real players in there, but there'll also be a bunch of bots. And it will be a lower level of competition. But I can do that without just, doing the thing that, the bad thing, which is like having like a separate account that's a lower level, so you can just stomp noobs.
Right.
I guess I don't know that I like the idea of somebody who's like really good being like, I just want to play a casual game where I can get up everyone, so I'll go to the casual breakthrough mode, when that mode sounds like it's specifically designed more for
Me.
onboarding and like letting people kind of get used to like the controls and stuff, and but still has like some people in there, so you're not like completely trying to learn a tutorial thing.
Because there is like straight up tutorial thing, but
I like the idea of this though, like prima facie. I like the idea of it because it's when I played PUBG for the first time when we had that LAN party back in Delta, that I was like, I don't play these kind of games normally. Like, I don't play the kind of running around and shooting things and doing whatever, but I love the idea of drop into a space and then run for a building and then start going through it and trying to find anything you can, and then outfitting yourself and trying to find better weapons and trying to like scrounging for upgrades and doing all that kind of shit. I'm like, I love that idea. And was really like, actually, that's my most favorite part of this game. Is just running around and staying alive and grabbing all the shit that I can, because I can't hit anybody.
But like, I did play a little bit of that as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the problem is when you're at that like beginner level in something like PUBG, it's not, I'll run around, scrounge a few things, and then, oh no, I see some bad guys. I'll try to get away from them. Oh no, I messed up. Oh, they got me.
Yeah.
It's, I'll run around, try to scrub some stuff, and I just died.
Yeah, I don't know how I died.
And I have absolutely no feedback as to why I died, how I died, what happened.
I started this game and I ran
Some guy on the other hand, on the other side of the level, took out a sniper rifle, shot me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, he happens to know how to get like a Car 98 with like a 4X scope like right away, and he got something, and then he just turned around, he saw me and was like, look at that asshole running in a straight line. Don't do that. Bang. And it's like, I'm dead now, and I don't know what I did that was so wrong, I don't have time to learn how to play better, and I don't know how to match against people who are new like I am. And it's like, if PUBG existed back in the day with like, hey, would you like to play this map with like 25 bots, and we're gonna move the circle in pretty fast, but we're gonna let you run around and kind of get a handle on the idea of the game, and you're just playing by yourself and you're just playing against a few bots, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do this for a while. This sounds like a lot of fun. I'll get really good at this, and then I'll maybe want to, like, it's like playing the single player mode in Splatoon. I got to the point where I was doing well enough in the single player mode in Splatoon that when I went to go do multiplayer matches, that I was like, oh, I can hold my own with all these other people. And
Yeah,
that
because
felt
then
pretty good.
the skill set that you're trying to learn then becomes less about like controls and what weapons do and things, and more about how to work with people that you can only communicate on a more limited level with, and a different set of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
I remember playing, I think it was Heroes of the Storm, which is
Blizzard's
the
thing?
the Blizzard's MOBA game.
Oh, okay.
I was playing. It was on like 18 games and counting or whatever. I was playing that. And, James wasn't around that day, so I was just playing it self. And you play it, and I think the first couple matches or the first match or whatever was either mostly bots or entirely bots or something, right? And like I was sort of I was kind of figured it out, and I felt it was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good is stuff, and chat was like, yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that in like is it in Firefly? There's that part where he's in the like duel, the sword fighting duel.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, haha, and the people on the side are like, he thinks he's doing well.
Yeah.
It's like it's like doing well against bots or doing well in that circumstance can be a lot different, but teaches you some stuff anyway. Just a couple more stories here. 2 stories about cute animals in games.
Alrighty.
Okay, all right.
Firstly, Fortnite has a new sidekicks thing,
Oh, like Palico?
which, to be honest, this is one of those things where it's like, really, they didn't have these before. Fortnite seems like the kind of game that would be all over this kind of stuff already. But yeah, you can have
Banana Dog.
you can have little sidekicks that join you, that hang out with you.
Oh.
Here, let me.
Oh, they cost V-Bucks.
Well, yeah, of course they do.
Of course.
So
they
you
do.
can have little dudes that hang out with you, and they were testing them for a while, and I believe they're starting to bring them out, and they are adorable and things, but also they cost V-Bucks, and not like a small number of V-Bucks either, 1,200 V-Bucks.
Are they like?
It's like $20.
Are they
isn't
like
it?
just like a kind of like a cosmetic style thing, or do they have like a game?
Do they fight?
I think
thing?
they're mostly just a cosmetic thing that they run around with you.
So, so Fortnite, Fortnite is still a shooter game, right? Like, I know there's building and stuff in it, but
I know,
it's still
I know.
primarily a shooter game.
As far as I know,
what I'm
yes.
hearing is if you want to, you can have a cosmetic that runs around with you, potentially makes noises, and gives your location away.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
fun.
So the big thing is that you can buy your sidekick,
Yes.
and they cost like 1,200 V-Bucks or whatever.
I mean,
But
that's
then
the lowest they
Yeah.
cost.
yeah, but then also
So I'm assuming like $50 American.
yeah, and also
Like,
but also
when we start talking in imaginary currencies, I assume at least $50 American.
well, the fun part is they cost 1,200 V-Bucks, but of course you can't buy 1,200
Again,
V-Bucks.
$50 American.
Yeah.
But anyway, but then also once you buy it, like different customization, like different skins and stuff.
Of course, yes,
cost
that would make
extra
sense.
things.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
assuming,
assuming you have to buy the base model before you can buy its outfits.
and I'm assuming if they haven't done it already, then that presumably Fortnite already has like you can buy dances and things, so so.
Pet dances.
The fact that Fortnite is adding a thing and then massively monetizing it to
Yeah,
the detriment of players is not really that big, but it's just sort of one of the things. And people
So it's
people in the community are like, hey, maybe let's not buy these. You know, but let's
Not just inject a bunch of more money into this game.
let's rebel against this rampant monetization.
Which feels good because also you buy the thing. It has yes, you can customize it once, and if you don't pick anything that you like, then you have to buy it again and pick the different customization. Then nobody else in the game can see it except you and your squad mates. So it won't give your position away. It's just running around with you, but nobody can see that you have one yourself. So you're not doing it to show off to the other side, hey, look, I spent 2,800 V-Bucks on a really special version of this. It's only your squad mates who get to know about it, and you. So you're basically just...
What?
You're preening yourself, ultimately.
No, you're monetizing imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? You don't know about that dog I have that nobody can see except me?
You've never posted pictures on Tumblr, Paul, I couldn't say. So I think it's a little unusual. Obviously the idea is, like, Fortnite must have been like, people want to have a doggy in the game, so why don't we just give them a doggy? And it's like, well, how would we make that work? It's like, we would just do it this way, and it's like, is that fair? It's like, well, it is what it is.
I guess this reeks to me more like I saw another game and they have pets. We could put pets in our game. It doesn't, to me, it does not say, oh, people would really like pets in their first-person shooter building game.
Yeah. But I love the idea that because this is not something then that you share with everybody. It's literally something that you are buying for also your squad mates, but you're buying it for yourself. You're buying this thing to have it so you can see it on screen, so you know that you have it, which is kind of no different than having, like, when the Palico run around with you in a single player game like Monster Hunter. It's like
do things.
But it's like, that's for you also, right? It's like, I have these things and they look the way that I want them to, and that's for me because it's a single player experience. So if they're coming to it from there, then that's one thing. But I do love the fact that people are rebelling, like you're saying. It's kind of like, hey, wait a second, why are we doing this? Like, why should we buy these things? What's the net benefit? Is it really just to have a dog that looks like a banana peel in the game? Is that really the only reason why are we falling for this? What the fuck is the matter with us? I'm like, okay, good. You're seeing the line. Good job, Fortnite players. Like, you caught on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the entire audience watching and clapping has little dogs that are like
Somebody else can
peels.
see them, but the dogs are clapping
like,
too.
It feels like, because beyond the pet thing, it also kind of feels like there are really cool characters that are more animal based, and we can't. It would be a lot harder to skin the human skeleton with the animal thing to run around. But I'm like, it'd be way more funny for me to run around as a dog shooting people than.
Oh, you want to actually be the dog.
Yeah,
well,
when
yes.
you bark, you
when it
shoot
comes to
lasers at
video games,
people.
Paul, I always want to be the
What
animal.
if
Think
you're
about the games that we've played.
What if you're the dog and the person is the pet?
Okay, I think that might be an interesting concept for a video game. I don't think it's a concept that Epic can explore.
So then, in other cute animal news.
Yes, in other cute animal news,
good.
Astral Ascent, which is
sounds familiar.
it's a game. It's on Switch, and I think it's for other stuff as well. But anyway, it is I believe it's a roguelike kind of dealio, cool pixel arty style. They have a new DLC coming out called Celestial Heaven, which is coming to Steam. Oh yeah, so for Steam as well. Steam later this month, and then the Switch release soon after. It adds a bunch of new stuff, but especially it adds the shelter area to the hub world, where you can have little pets that assist you with your runs. They'll go and like get resources for you and grab and stuff.
Again, calicos and whatever they're called in Monster
Palamutes.
Hunter
I mean,
are very useful.
Yeah, I mean,
They help you even fight things a little bit.
Hades 2 has got the little pets
Yeah,
too.
Ooh.
I have all of them now.
All right.
And so, so you can, let me switch over. See, so you have your little, you have your little sanctuary.
Pet sanctuary. It's
where,
cute.
Where you can have all your little, your different pets. And then as you're traveling along, they'll help you out and find resources and stuff for you.
Nice.
Yeah, game sounds familiar. I'm gonna roguelike. probably.
I believe so, yes. Yeah, they're not just cute. They're valuable companions you can bring along in explorations. They'll assist you during runs, using its instincts to sniff out and dig up special rewards across rooms. And as good pets, they'll follow you everywhere and celebrate your victories.
Aw.
So, yeah. We had a wonderful time with Astral. This is Nintendo Life saying, called it probably the best roguelike since Hades. Well, there you go.
It's
Okay.
a side scroller too.
It does look pretty neat. Yeah, and I mean, they could have been like, we added in pets, and they're just like a fun cosmetic thing in this game, and that would have been fine. But I do feel like when there's just certain game styles that when they're like, hey, we're adding this thing, kind of like, okay, but what does it do? Does it do anything?
And the other cool thing is that so the DLC is going to be variable price, because it's going to be a charity thing.
Oh, okay.
So minimum price is $2 or $1.99 on Steam. The proceeds will be going to the French animal charity One Voice. So you get cute animals in game, and you help out cute animals in real life. And I believe they have confirmed that you can indeed pet the various cute animals.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question everyone asks.
So what more is there to ask for, really? And finally, let's jump to
Oh, right. I mean, okay, I wouldn't call this happy news, Paul, but I will give it to you. This is
Happy news.
A good piece of news to end on.
Balatro, always a fun time. They've come out with a 2026 calendar featuring 13 pictures of the voice actor who is. They have the person who they have as Jimbo, who's like the mascot for Balatro and the sort of the thing. Balatro doesn't actually have any voice acting in it, I don't think. But this voice actor who is
Ben Starr.
Yes, Ben Starr, who's a very accomplished voice actor, has been for whatever reason he has become the face of Jimbo.
Yeah.
And they've used him in a bunch of things already. And there's this calendar has come out with a bunch of different pictures of him for various for different months. So you can you can enjoy him in all sorts of different ways.
They had to do it. Yeah, he set up a lot of little studios.
Laserbeak's Fury says he's the voice actor for Verso. That's a character from Expedition 33.
Yeah. I don't quite understand how it came to be that he is the mascot for Balatro, but anyway.
I'm sure there's a story on the internet somewhere that'll explain it.
I want to
or
believe
an
he just
interview with him.
dressed up one day and was like, "Look, I'm also gonna do this." And
I mean, there is something really cool when you see a voice actor who like dresses up as their own character, and then you find out that they want to cosplay as like a different thing. It's always fun.
And then of course, this is not just for fun. This is also a fundraiser, a charitable fundraiser for Extra Life, which is again a really wonderful cause. That goes towards the Children's Miracle Network.
Yeah, so the watermark on these pictures is Fangamer, so I'm assuming they're the ones selling the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, you need a 2026 calendar, right?
I'm just saying, there's some Desert Bus T-shirts up on the Fangamer website. You could probably also throw.
That's
into
true.
Your cart.
That's true. You might as well put them together in
you
one.
might as well, like all your charity stuff. Might as well.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about that last week. That Vampire Survivors just released the Balatro crossover DLC, which is very funny.
Yeah, have you unlocked that yet?
I tried to do it last week and it wouldn't work.
Beach has not tried
Yeah.
again. That's fair. I also stopped trying after a first attempt a lot of times.
Anyway, lots of silly things going on in the world of video games, but unfortunately, that's stopping.
We have to pause the video games for a bit.
There's going to be no more video game news for the next 2 weeks. Nothing
Can
interesting
we
is going to happen in
expand
the
that?
world.
Can we say video game news in all of the world is gonna just take a hiatus for a couple months so we can all decompress a little?
We have to still make checkpoint.
Oh yeah.
Just Checkpoint will just be like, nope, nothing to do this week.
News this week.
Beach's stories are mostly full of lies anyway, so I don't really
That's
see
true. So we just make up
there
stuff.
being no news is gonna do for him. Let's make up better news.
Yeah. Today, kittens. But anyway, if you haven't seen this week's episode of Checkpoint, you should. It's up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LRRVG. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then you're already on that channel. So you should go look at the episode of Checkpoint. But otherwise, we want to thank everybody for joining us, and thank you for supporting us, either here on Twitch or on YouTube. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you get your name at the end of the Checkpoint credits, or on Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. But in any case, thanks for watching, and we will talk to all y'all later. Bye.